Welcome back to Breakfast Central. It's time for the papers to be reviewed, and joining us this morning is globally renowned journalist Habib Haruna. Good morning. Good to have you.
Good morning.
Morning.
It's good to see you on a suit, according to Benga.
You're looking very suitable.
It happens at times, you know.
Hope the rains didn't disturb you this morning.
No, not quite. I live close by.
Oh, thank God.
Nice.
Thank God.
Nice.
Okay, let's start off with the newspapers. Remember that you also can get to be a part of the papers this morning. When we review the papers, we open the phone lines. The numbers to call will be on the TV screen if you'd like to drop comments, contributions, or disagree with anything that we or our analysts in studio is saying. Please feel free. The phone lines are open, and the numbers to call are there. Let's start with the Punch papers. On the front page of the Punch newspaper, food price crash. Farmers fault federal government order as agro imports hit 2.2 trillion naira. Order won't work. Federal government must subsidize transport, agri sectors, AFAN says, and millers say. Federal government to distribute 2,000 tractors to farmers. Dangote vows refinery won't fall to oil mafia. South is behind as Southwest maintains voter pre-registration lead. Nepal protests. 2 Nigerian inmates rearrested after jailbreak. Yay!
I mean, you stand out like a sore thumb. It's a country of Asians, and then you're black, and you think you can escape from
jail. Okay. Federal government suspends 4% controversial import duty levy. SS, Sanu and Nasu issue strike notice over unpaid allowances, and there we go again. FX inflows reserves boost naira to 1,497 naira per dollar. Tinubu, Fubara, and foreign trips. IBAS set for handover. Presidency fires back as Atiku warns of revolution. That's all on the front page of the Punch. Let's start with the imports duty that has been, the imports levy that has been suspended.
And as the price really crashed.
We'll come back to that one. Let's start with the import levy. But if our producers can please put the press release that the federal government had put up, talking about the price, the crash or the suspension of 4% import duty. If we can please put up the press release. The second paragraph of the press release there talked about how they had coordinations, they had meetings with stakeholders, and had decided that it wasn't the best course to follow. So yes, that's it. It says, following extensive consultations with industry stakeholders, trade experts, and relevant government officials, it has become clear that the implementation of the 4% FOB charge poses significant challenges to the Nigerian trade facilitation, environment, and economic stability. Many importers and businesses have raised concerns about the increased financial burden this levy imposes, with potential adverse effects on inflation, trade competitiveness, and the overall business climate in Nigeria. So they're suspending it to provide for comprehensive stakeholder engagement and a thorough review of the framework. On the face of it, Mr. Aruna, this looks good. It shows that the government is listening.
Absolutely.
And when people cry, they're listening. But the underlying concern I have is that this is not the first time we see them come out with a policy and then people kick against it, then they go back. Does it mean that adequate thought and preparation is not put into ensuring that these policies are properly investigated, that they do their due diligence before ruling out policies?
That's very carefully thought out.
That's a very fine question. But don't forget that government can make mistakes. And when the policy is formulated and it's being implemented, there are bottlenecks, there are landmines, citizens have the right to cry out that, come on, this thing is not working, this thing is affecting us adversely. And what the government has done, and rightly to, in my opinion, is to suspend the policy implementation for some time. I think we are already seeing the signs, because before now, Nigerians have been crying foul that they want to kill us with all these levies, and it shows that it's not been working. And with this backtrack and reversal, I'm sure Nigerians are happy that it will help the economy. Because if you're taxing people, how do you want the economy to rebound? So I think it's a good way of showing that we are responsible and at the same time responsive to our needs. Let's see and wait. There are mechanisms put in place to ensure that this thing is well implemented and how to help the economy.
All right. Let's also now go back to the big story. The main story here, food price crash. Farmers fault federal government's order as agro imports hit 2.2 trillion naira. Now, it would say the details of the story is that there was a recent order on the 11th of September 2025 was reported that President Tinubu ordered a Federal Executive Council committee to further crash the prices of food items across the country. The Minister of State for Agriculture and Food Security, Sabi Abdullahi, stated this in Abuja while presenting a paper at a one-day capacity building workshop for journalists covering the Senate. He said the president's order will be enforced to further crash prices of food items by ensuring the safe passage of products through various routes across the country. However, this has drawn sharp criticism from farmers and rice millers who argue that mere pronouncements cannot override market forces or compensate for poor planning. They say, and I quote, "The cost of food will go down if transport goes down, but that alone is not enough. Our farmers are complaining that the prices are so low that they cannot buy fertilizer. The importation has dealt with our farmers." This is according to the national president of the All Farmers Association of Nigeria, Kabir Ibrahim.
So it's a delicate balancing act. If you're the government, how would you, or if you had the opportunity to advise the government, how would you advise them on proceeding? What is a sustainable way to make everyone happy, the farmers and also the people? Because I'm happy to buy cheap food.
There's a saying in Yoruba land that till Jabako no share, in other words, if you solve the food problem, everything has been solved. And that is why people say that in America and other countries, they've been able to solve their food problem. Because these things are cheap. And that is because government in those countries, they subsidize food production. They give farmers money. Right? But in Nigeria, we import virtually everything. And people are saying that if you allow people to import everything, people that we are growing things locally, how do we survive? You know, and because of this cry that price of food is becoming too much for people to afford. And that is why Tinubu directed the FEC that you guys try as possible to crash prices of food, which we are seeing now. But farmers are saying that no, it's affecting us negatively. That the money we have used to invest, the money we have used to buy fertilizer, is still expensive. You know, so I think that should be a holistic approach by the government, because to some extent things are becoming a bit cheap in market. Because if my wife is not complaining at home, I know that yes, something is wrong somewhere. So I think it's a very good story by Punch, because the prices are going down a bit. But my argument and point is that you find a way to help farmers. If farmers are complaining, we'll be in a big mess. If farmers cannot go to farm because of insecurity, if they cannot have good roads to ship their goods to the urban area, then we have problem. You tackle those areas. Those are the things that will make food to be cheap in the markets.
Okay. Top right corner of the paper is another very important story. And this is, of course, what's happening in Rivers State vis-a-vis the return of the president. Top right corner says, Tinubu, Fubara, and foreign trips, Ibas set for handover. So the question is, how is this handover going to officially take place? We've seen the Vice Admiral Ibas go for Thanksgiving on Sunday. Him and his family were there for the Thanksgiving. Are we going to see an automatic, is there going to be a re-swearing in?
There'll be a parade.
Well, that will not be necessary. What people are looking at, they're looking forward to see how the president, will make that pronouncement. Is it through a national address or through a press statement from the presidency? And some are even saying that, some are even tying it to why the president is coming down to town. He's cutting short his holiday to come back to Nigeria. They're saying that maybe that's one of the reasons why.
I doubt it.
It's not impossible, but the suspension of Obama was made through a national broadcast. We are waiting to see if his return will also be made through a national broadcast or a presidential statement. But what is important for us to note is that the sole administrator has been acting as if he was elected. That is not acceptable. It's wrong. We should not approve it. If it's going to church with his family, that is no problem. It's not something that is official. He should be acting behind the curtain.
Exactly.
It's
not like he's
on the background, not showing it as if he was an elected person. That is very wrong. And more importantly, to me, is that this gentleman should be made to face the National Assembly.
To account for his system.
Just like a civil society organization
the money has been spent in that state,
needs to come and
should account for them. There should be a thorough audit of the money you have spent so far. That is the way to go about it. If you just go down the road,
or maybe the elected
just go down the
government
night without accounting for what is spent, That's the service.
Maybe the elected governor of Fubara would do it.
It's not Fubara that should do the accounting for the money that he did not spend.
I like your report this morning when you show people on the street of Port Harcourt expressing their views on the likely comeback of Fubara. I don't think you'll be sworn in. That is not necessary. It's already the governor, that is only an intellect now that happened.
So we are...
I think the state is threat for its comeback. It's in the best interest of the state, of the federal government, and for democracy, for them to come back and resume.
So it's season of comeback and return. Do you see the door also opening for Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan to come back?
No, it's one of the tragedies of our democracy. And we have a rambunctious Senate leader, Senate president, and an insensitive Senate. That's why the public outcry. Everybody is saying that allow this woman to come back. This woman has paid her dues. She has suffered enough. 6 months, and his people, Okogu Central, are not represented in the Senate. These people are still not back. They're not even affected. They don't even give a damn. I think the ball is in their court. The only is on them. Natasha, to me, should be enjoying the game. Eventually, she will come back. It's all of us look at them and say, shame on you people for not doing the right thing. It's the honorable thing for them to do. The easy way out is for them to call a meeting and be ready to come back.
Okay.
And the only way out.
I think we can take a look at the front page of the Tribune newspaper. Let's have the front page of the Tribune newspaper up, please. The headline says 2027, PDP demands legal backing for electronic transmission of results. Says the rider says party not dead. Declares confidence in Fubara as emergency rule winds down. And Rivers dismisses relevance of article others. Says reconciliation disciplinary measures in progress. And Nigeria's inflation rate drops to 20.12% in August, says the MBS. That's some good news there. And also on the front page of the Tribune newspaper, there's move to reduce federal government stakes in joint war ventures capable of undermining Nigeria's sovereignty, Article 1. Oyo launches a sustainable social protection initiative. And I can't facilitate Natasha's resumption, says CNA. Health. Walking can prevent back pain risk by 23%. I wonder how they did that calculation to be exact 23%. Refinery ended Nigeria's 58-kill crisis, says Dangote. And the rider says, we're creating jobs, not displacing anyone. So those are the newspaper headlines we have from the Tribune. But let's take a call from Francis in Akwa Ibom. Francis.
Good morning, Francis.
Good morning, Francis. How about you?
Yes, when I'm listening to this newspaper review that you guys do, honestly, this country...
Francis, we can barely hear you. Can you please speak up?
Can you hear me now?
A bit better, yes.
Okay, yeah, I said Nigeria is on low battery, and we don't have good charger. All the people who are coming out to be president are all China charger. Honestly speaking, and I really want us, the youth, to rise up. We need to stand up. We need to stand up and see what we can do for this nation. Yes, I'm saying it because while I was in primary school, I was told I'm the leader of tomorrow. During that period, Buhari was the president. I am over 46. Buhari has come back to be president. Obasanjo has come back to be president. Atiku is still warming up. Watch the ages of these people. Now somebody is telling my son in the school that he's going to be the leader of tomorrow. My son is asking, Daddy, you have not been leader. When will I now be leader? So we need to rise up, change some of this narrative. Please, like I always say when I go to some radio programs, politicians are surprised that we believe them, even when they don't believe themselves. We should not believe in these people. This one of the presidential aspirants or presidential candidates in the last election is always staying outside the country to tell us what is happening in Nigeria. Please let him come back and stay here. Sit down inside this country. As in, let him have the feel. Not because whenever it's coming to election, whenever it's drawing close to election, all the people who want to contest election will now become, how will I call it, chief mourners of families they don't know. They will begin to visit people, visit up and down, visit. Very soon they will start eating corn on the streets. They will start eating food with people just because they want to go and sit down on the wealth of this nation. I wish the youth, we need to rise up. Join political parties. Let the youth join parties and be part of those who will make decisions for this nation. I'm tired of all these China chargers, not even better charger. China chargers that want to charge Nigeria. One bar is remaining in Nigeria. One bar. We need good charger. And those who will be the good chargers are not coming out. Please, this nation needs to change. I feel like weeping for this nation. And I'm going to start something very soon so that these paparazzis that we need to be snapping picture and putting at the frame of our house and on our houses to say, these are the people who spoiled this nation. We need to change things. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Francis.
Thank you so much.
Even this China. Wow. China is doing really well.
I've never seen that definition in a
China, right? It was back in the day that China charger
China
is
technologically advanced.
They're far more advanced than many
if you look at
Tribune headline on page of Tribune. There are good stories there.
Very good.
The story on PDP. The other one at the bottom, the refinery. The PDP story.
Let's talk about the refinery first. This is life-changing for a lot of Nigerians. It's, the irony is we hardly remember the times of suffering when you get used to a system of having. You don't remember the times of have-nots. I remember sleepless nights on endless fuel queues. I even remember, Olive trying to date a petrol attendant just to have access to petrol, oil and gas industry. So Nigerians have gone through a lot, and it shows you that positive things can happen in this country. This is the single largest train refinery in the entire world, and it's working, and we're benefiting from it, and we're also exporting. So what does this tell you? Our refinery, this is a statement of confidence. Our refinery ended Nigeria's 50-year fuel queue crisis. What does that tell you about the state of our own
I urge you guys to read
refinery?
The statement of Dangote that were publicized today in dailies. A continuation of it is what you are seeing today in the papers. Well written, very concise, very apt, and very instructive. A statement that was a response to what the some dealers, marketers have been flaunting in public space. Dangote come out with a rebuter, comprehensive rebuter. You guys will notice that I'm not a fan of Dangote refinery, but I'm not particularly disposed to a monopolistic environment. We are someone because I don't like the way his intervention in the cement industry, in the salt sector.
And it's too much of a risk for your power.
If you look at what it's doing because refinery, oil is a major thing. It is soul of this country. What Dangote is saying is that they gave many people licenses for the refineries. Some are doing their own now. Some are like Boa and other people. They are in fact of having a refinery. Let me have my own. I invested money on my own. I spend money. Now I'm happy to be the biggest. And I'm saying that I can't be hoodwinked by third parties. The way described Nupeng, another Nibar or something.
They didn't put anything inside.
So what he's saying is that let us operate in the free environment. It's market forces. The argument of Dangote to me is very convincing. But these guys have been dealing with us for long. Nupeng. That can you imagine one person owning about 20 trucks, 30 trucks. They will not allow Dangote to operate. So all you know Dangote is saying is that it's a free
market.
It's a free market. You guys go and operate on your own. I have my own, I have a license, and I built my refinery. And I have a right to buy trucks to supply this to Nigerians and at those steps. So why are you fighting me? So I think that is sense in what you said. And I also said one thing, that this guy is that kind of people that have been making our refineries not to work for long. And I agree with him.
And I agree.
These guys, they're making billions from importation of oil. And that for now, since okay, look at the price, the prices have been going down. So the argument is very
The talks I will get to.
So let me what the government will do. The government will have straight in it to try and see what they can do. But they have a very convincing and robust argument and message to Nigerians.
Okay, let's still look at the front page. The big story talking about PDP. PDP is calling for a legal framework mandating electronic transmission of election results ahead of the 2027 general election, stressing that it will resist any attempt to undermine the will of Nigerians. They had a press briefing on Monday, and the Publicity Secretary, Honorable Debo Ologunagba, had said that the party was concerned about past electoral challenges and then insisted that the Independent National Electoral Commission must ensure real-time transmission of results directly from polling units. This was supposed to happen in 2023. It didn't happen. What are the chances that we will see this happen in 2023?
And that is the pain of our problem. We're not having a free and fair elections. Election is not, it's a process, not just your vote. So maybe I've been saying that election results are decided during collation. After collated, we are transmitting it to the INEC office where they announce the result. That is where they have a problem. And what the man is saying, on behalf of his party, the PDP, which every concerned Nigerian should be saying, is that how can we have a free and fair elections? We are talking about democracy. We are talking about elections. We are talking about contesting elections. These stakeholders, since they will come to contest elections, their concern should be how do we make sure that the votes of Nigerians count? That is very, very critical. And that's why I am so much attracted to this story. How do you transmit result from the polling booth, from the polling unit to the collator center? By not just so that they would not go and manipulate the result.
Right.
That should be the concern of every party, not only the PDP. Because if elections are free and fair and credible, we can be on the road to development and growth. That is my position. So I think it's a very good result. And don't forget that I've said on this program that if PDP decided to zone the presidency to the south, the party will remain relevant. That's what is going on now. I said it on this program.
Yeah.
That is why they remain relevant. That is why the name of Jonathan, also Jonathan will be on the trail. So I think it should be concerned to all of us.
Okay, I'll just run through a few of the headlines and then we can move to the next paper. Still on the front page of the Nigerian Tribune, move to reduce federal government stakes in joint oil ventures capable of undermining Nigeria's sovereignty, Article warns. Oyo launches Sustainable Social Protection Initiative. I can't facilitate Natasha's resumption, CNA says. They say Senate court must authorize her return. Nigeria's inflation rate dropped to 20.12% in August, according to the Bureau of Statistics.
Yeah, I'm not feeling it too.
That's what everybody's saying. That
then go feel it
dropping
very soon.
You know,
Guinness Book of World Records confirms Hilda Bassi's largest serving of Nigerians. Congratulations once again to Hilda Bassi. And finally, daily walking can prevent back pain risk by 23%.
Yes, all of us who have sedentary work.
Yes.
I'm 61. I don't have back pain.
I would have thought
I don't have waist pain. I don't joke with walking. It's
Please,
very
are you
key.
listening?
Very, very important. Please, don't joke with it.
Joe, are you listening?
I'm listening.
You should start walking from
Go
the
ahead.
house to the office now. Stop taking vehicles to come.
And your MD is a...
He's a gym boss.
Absolutely. You
No, I'm going to give him a run for
look at
his
it.
money. I was in the gym last night.
Very, very fit.
It's just that
Yeah, your MD is very,
I
very
hope
fit.
management is watching.
So they can
Once
create a
in a
gym for
while,
us.
maybe Fridays.
We'll go and present Breakfast Central from
They
gym.
should, because
I'm not sure your MD will be
our
against it.
viewers will not be able to see
Your MD is very, very fit.
how
Everybody is grey hair. Look at his body. Fit and firm.
our viewers.
The picture on the front page of Tribune is also interesting.
Yes.
That's the picture of incoming
Olubadan.
Olubadan of Ibadan.
Yes.
Former Ondo State Governor Nico and former Osun State Governor, now an ABC chieftain. Sorry, that is interesting. When you visit him.
Interesting.
On the front
one there.
picture.
Okay, of course, the Daily Trust. Trust the Daily Trust to report news of insecurity, even if the other papers don't report it. The big story here, amidst peace deal in Katsina, bandits abduct 55 in Zamfara. Bandits yesterday abducted 43 worshippers from a mosque in Gidan Tobe village, Safe local government area. They were also said to have kidnapped 12 persons at Godal Village, Bukayam local government area of the state on Sunday. We'll come back to that story. FCT doctors strike, services grounded in hospitals. Tinubu cuts short vacation, returns to Nigeria today. 2027, UN warns parties against hate speech. Kano Maradi rail project at 60% completion, president says. Presidency, Atiku trade words over hunger, poverty. 3 patients die at AKTH as Kedco cuts power over debt. Ah!
You know, Daily Trust, they don't miss
Oh, they don't so. They're going to let you, don't deceive yourself.
Like Guinness Book of Record, what is that?
No.
Straight to the action.
Violence, like, it seems people don't want, you want to pretend like nothing is happening.
And
they're going to remind
there
you.
are stories. There are critical stories there.
People should start out with these 3 patients die.
Everything. Is it everything? Oh.
Anyway, we have a call. Let's take Elder Peter from Hello. All right. Are you there? Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning.
All right.
I'm calling from Bayelsa.
Good morning.
Yes, good morning. Go ahead.
Yeah. Well, about the Nigerian NNPC, the headline there says Nigeria ended, 55 years, or the NNPC ended in 55 years or 50 years. You see, let us be sincere to ourselves in this country. You look at when Gowon was in power, oil was in a big boom. That he doesn't know what to do with the money. He started making bridges all over Lagos, when Lagos was the capital of Nigeria. Now, today, where are we? All the refineries today have been abandoned. And nobody talks. Abacha came, gave his in-law money to say what they call it, refurbishing of the refinery. Nothing has been done. All the dollars, all of them have been stolen. Nobody talks. Now, refinery today we know is to produce, not to be selling crude oil. You go to refineries, they are not working. How are they paying the workers of NNPC? Are they paying them for oil sales, or are they paying them for refining of the purpose of establishing NNPC? Nothing is being done. Now, the present NNPC MD, he has done all his own homework and everything, and stolen all our money. Put all his boys all in Warri, Port Harcourt, and all this other things. And all the money has been stolen. Nobody talks. Which type of country are we? Are we afraid of ourselves, or are we afraid of who? Poverty is smelling in the country because of stolen wealth that belongs to the masses. Let us go back and think. Let us not be afraid of ourselves. Let us say the truth and arrest those who are arrested and jail them. Let others learn. We call ourselves Christians. We call ourselves Muslims. We go to the mosque on Friday. We go and bow down and start praying to Allah. The Christians go to church again and go and say they are worshiping God. So we stolen money. They will go for Thanksgiving. We stolen money. What a shameful nation. What a shameful country. In fact, I cry for Nigeria. At my age today, I'm 70-something years old. I'm older than this country. And I know how our independence started. So most of us that are in the House of Assembly, House of Reps today, they don't know the history of this country. If they know, this thing will be paining them. They just go there to get and next money, make themselves to be rich, and make themselves to be somebody, and that is all. Because of their community, you can imagine the local government level. Nothing is happening. Nobody will be responsible for something that has been done wrong. To talk, they will send Ayat to kill you. If you talk anything, the next day, you know. In fact, in this country, in fact, I don't know what to say again. I shed tears for Nigeria. Anytime I look at all these headlines, I shed tears.
All right.
Thank you very much, Elder
he
Peter.
he said
It's really sad for Nigeria. I mean, too many things. But I want us to touch on this story before we leave as quickly as we can, because we have less than 3 minutes. 3 patients die at Aminu Kano Teaching Hospital as Kedco cuts power over debt. Now, if you look into the details of this story, apparently they had over 950 million naira debt, it would seem, and that they were insistent on leaving the residents with the, ensuring that the residents and the hospital were on the same feeder. So the KEDCO kept insisting, put them on separate feeders so that residents would pay their own, hospital would pay their own. But they insisted, and then they went ahead and did the disconnection. As a result, 4 people were in ICU, 3 people have died. Now, I'm seeing in the papers, the way it's reported, it said, management of AKTH expresses its sincere appreciation to the Commissioner of Police and the MD of KEDCO for their timely support and concern during this challenging period. They're saying that they wish to inform the general public that the matter has been resolved amicably.
How about the people?
So what about the people that died?
Have you revived them?
What's going to happen? Is there going to be any investigation? Who's going to take responsibility for the 3 people? They've just reported it as a casualty, just like that.
They didn't even acknowledge it in the statement.
That should be the
they
main
didn't
debate.
acknowledge their death.
I'm amazed. I'm amazed.
That's shocking things.
It's not tidy. And I don't know why they cannot put hospitals. Maybe different line.
Yeah, because it's critical national infrastructure.
Don't emergency services. Can't put them on, do them because their own money, not call off their light. In this same country, the teaching hospital in Ibadan, right? They had no light for more than 6
Oh yes, we
9
covered that
months.
story
Yes, we
earlier
did.
this year.
For months, they
people
went
have
on
to
the
bring their own
protest.
generators. Their own
Solar panels.
what do you call it?
That's my neighbor.
Generator to the hospitals. It's unfortunate.
In this country.
What the gentleman said, last caller from Bayelsa said, captured what we are feeling, what we are seeing. Anytime you see all these things, you just begin to wonder what is wrong with us as a people.
At the end of the day, I'm hoping that there's an investigation that's carried out, that this matter is not just swept off as saying that KEDCO and AKTH have settled.
These are preventable deaths.
KEDCO has come out to say that they're being blackmailed, that this matter had nothing to do with them. But there needs to be an investigation, and someone needs to take responsibility for the 3 lives that have been lost.
Absolutely.
That does it for the show today.
Exactly, that does it for today. Thank you so much for joining us, to our guests who have joined us physically and virtually, to our online audience, those joining us via YouTube Live. And we can see Mokunye Chukwemeka, who says he's working from home. Shout out to your HR. We hope our HRs are
I mean, the rain has stopped, eh?
Yeah, the rain seems to have stopped.
The rain has stopped.
Absolutely.
Yes.
It has abated.
Abated, sorry.
It is abated. Sorry, the rain has abated.
I'm de-escalating fight.
We'll be back again tomorrow. Thank you so much for joining us.
My pleasure.
All right, see you tomorrow, everyone. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
Bye.